time to crack a beer and get to it. Another episode of Blockbuster Underground coming to you from somewhere in Ontario. Well, it's been a couple of weeks or so thereabouts since the last episode I did. Busy, shit going on at work, whatever. So, let's get caught up on some stuff here. Got a few things to cover today. Managed to see Snake Eyes last night. We'll talk about that. Also going to talk about the Masters of the Universe cartoon that Kevin Smith's getting a ton of shit for right now. We're going to talk about some Hot Toys reveals they did at the virtual San Diego Comic-Con, Sideshow Con, whatever thing they call it now. And some more info on some new Black Series HasLab news for the next one. Razor Crest was the last one, which will be here soon. Sometime in October, I've heard. And yeah, and then we'll figure it out from there kind of thing. But one thing I wanted to start with, this is fucking hilarious. David Goyer, the guy that wrote Man of Steel, said that during production, they got a call from Warner Brothers executives, and the Warner execs were like, so, you know, in like the third act where you use like Superman's pod to blow up Zod's ship. Spoiler, sorry if anyone hasn't seen Man of Steel. It came out 8 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, blow up Zod's ship using the pod, and the execs were like, so I don't think we should do that. And Goyer's like, well, what are you talking? Why? And they're like, well, if you do that, how's Superman supposed to get back to Krypton? And Goyer was like, there was like a silence on the line. And then they were like, Krypton blew up at the beginning of this movie. You saw it. The first 30 minutes of this movie was Krypton blowing up. Like, huh? Proof that Warner Brothers doesn't have a fucking clue what they're doing with their IP. I mean, I also read that for the Snyder cut of Justice League, the executives were like, why is Superman wearing a black suit? Why? And it's like, okay. And then the other thing that confused the hell out of them was Flash running back in time and reversing the mother box, blowing up the planet. They didn't understand that. It's like, oh my god. Like, pick up a fucking comic book. Like, Jesus Christ. And then they wonder why Marvel is so far ahead. Goyer actually, in an interview, said that the reason Marvel's so far ahead is they've had one steady, basically showrunner, Kevin Feige, overseeing the entire operation, whereas with Warner Brothers, it's been a fucking revolving door of executives coming in and out. And none of them have a fucking clue about fucking superhero movies, obviously, because, like, come on. Anyway, while we're talking about stuff that wasn't so great, I saw Snake Eyes, and I don't know, it wasn't fucking awful, but I don't know. They say it's a G.I. Joe origin story. G.I. Joe is barely in this. Like, they mention them, the Joes, and Scarlet shows up out of fucking nowhere, basically, in like the last 30 minutes. Apparently the Arashikage clan have like ties to the Joes, and they know about Cobra as well. And they literally like, oh, the Joes are this like covert terrorist organization, counter-espionage place. They're the good guys. It's like, okay, like, let's get another box of crayons here. I don't know what it is. Why can't they do a good G.I. Joe movie? They've got enough product and enough stories from all the comic books and the fucking cartoons and everything else that they've churned out over the years. You'd think they'd get it straight somehow. I mean, it's not rocket science. Damn it, Smithers, this isn't rocket science, it's brain surgery. But anyway, so basically, Snake Eyes is called Snake Eyes. And we never find out what his real name is, which is fine because his file card on the toy was always name classified. They really twist around some of the lore here, though. It ends up, the best part of this movie was Storm Shadow, quite honestly. Andrew Koji, he did a great job because he actually had an arc. Snake Eyes, literally in this movie, is basically trying to steal this gem because his whole thing is, I want to find out who killed my dad. So this crime boss guy, Kento or something, I forget what the hell the guy's name was, who's basically teamed up with Cobra want this gem that's inside the Ninja Clan's headquarters that gives them the power to like destroy shit, like an Infinity Stone almost, I guess. So Snake Eye's whole thing through the whole movie is like he's getting trained by Storm Shadow, and Storm Shadow's like, you're going to be a great asset to the clan. You're going to be trained. You're going to know everything we know and all this shit. And meanwhile, every chance he's getting, he's trying to steal this stupid gem. Then he finds out that Cobra wants the gem. Then he finds out that it was a Cobra guy that killed his dad. And then at the very end of the movie, we find out that his dad was actually a Joe who got killed because he was trying to infiltrate some Cobra sleeper cell or something or other. So, like, I don't know. Andrew Koji, though, has a really good arc for a story because he's basically, like, trying to run the clan. His grandmother's, like, the main, like, master of the whole clan, and he's supposed to someday run the whole thing once she passes on, and there's a big fight near the end. He ends up using the stone to try to kill somebody, and he's like banned from ever being in the clan again. And he's pissed. He's like, I fucking worked my whole life for this, and blood, sweat, and tears. It's my birthright, and now you're gonna boot me out. And they're like, well, you're still family. You can still come for Christmas dinner. So he's all pissed at the end and leaves, and he says to Snake Eyes, this is your fault because Snake Eyes ended up stealing the gem. Cobra got a hold of it, and all sort of shenanigans happened. And he's like, the next time we face each other, you're not my brother and you're nothing to me. I'm going to fucking kill you if I can. And leaves. And the tag scene, I didn't see the tag scene, I left beforehand. But apparently Baroness recruits him at the end to join Cobra. So, sequel? Maybe not. I don't know. There was one scene in particular, he's got to do these 3 tests to prove he can join the clan. And the third test is he gets dropped into a pit of like massive giant anacondas. And they apparently can sense the pure of heart or something. And anybody that's not pure of heart, they eat them. And somehow he gets dropped in there, things are about to eat him, and then like Storm Shadow's, I don't know, sister, I don't know, they never really, like he asks at the beginning, is that your sister? Is that your girlfriend? Is that your wife? Like, but she's like the second lieutenant or something or other. She jumps in, saves him before he's going to get eaten by the snakes, and then later on he throws the fucking crime boss Kento guy into the pit, jumps down there with him. They eat the bad guy, and then Snake Eyes suddenly has like clear of heart and stuff. So yeah, it was not great. I don't know. Retaliation and Rise of Cobra were pretty bad in their own respects, but I mean, I get where they were trying to go with this, but again, like, you didn't even really need to have G.I. Joe involved in this. It could have just been some ninja thing, but then you gotta worry, well, we've gotta have the IP and everything else, but it baffles me, like I said, like, how can they not get a proper G.I. Joe movie? Like, why is it so hard to think something up? You got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of characters. Like I said, comics galore. The TV series ran for 2 or 3 years at least. I mean, I'm not saying like start pilfering off of the fucking cartoon and shit like that, but I mean, I saw what was it, G.I. Joe Renegades animated show back in 2006, and it had like Snake Eyes like jumping out of trees, killing Cobra guys, and like all sorts of crazy cool shit. Like, something like that. I mean, the biosuits in the first movie where they're like RoboCop running down the streets of Paris. Like, oh my god. What is this? But, I'm guessing they're hoping this is going to be a launching pad for the franchise. Literally, like, Joe Colton is mentioned by Scarlet at the end when she comes in with the file saying that Snake Eyes' dad was a Joe. And she's in it. Samara Weaving plays Scarlet, who was in, she was Bill's daughter in Bill and Ted Face the Music. But, yeah, I mean, she could have not been in there. Baroness, same thing, not really necessity. But I mean, like I said, it wasn't terrible, but it was just, I guess. Which kind of sucks, because I'm a huge Joe fan from back in the day. I mean, after Star Wars kind of ended in like 82, sort of 83-ish range there, that's when G.I. Joe started going full tilt, and like those figures were fucking amazing. Like, I had tons of them. Anyway, maybe someday we'll get a proper G.I. Joe movie. Probably not. So, next topic, Masters of the Universe animated series on Netflix. Kevin Smith is getting a ton of fucking flack online because, literally, spoilers, they kill He-Man in the first episode. And for the last year, Kevin Smith's been going on online saying, yeah, you know, He-Man's the focus of this show, 100%. It's not going to be like the Tila show or anything like that. And then they ice him in the first episode. Like, come on. And then the worst part is that he goes to, like, Valhalla, Preternia, I think they call it. Ends up coming back. And they're like, if you come back, if you go back and you die again, you can't come back here. You're wherever. And as he comes back, he grabs the power sword just about to the I have the power shit thing, boom, and Skeletor comes up behind him and stabs him in the back with a spear, kills him again. Like, there's apparently a part 2 to this, so we'll see. But yeah, Kevin Smith is getting a ton of flack. They're like, people are saying he lied, bullshitted his way through, and he's like, all this usual bullshit about, oh, it's got to be a female lead character and this and that, and all sorts of bullshit. The animation for it's really good, but I get where people are coming from, but, you know, at the same time, He-Man's still in a little bit of the show. I mean, but, I don't know. So, yeah. So, yeah, Comic-Con, obviously not happening because of COVID, again. But all the retailers are doing like these online things. So on YouTube, they did a whole bunch of like showing of all the new Hot Toys figures that are coming out. Some of them are like, really? The only one that really caught my eye was Mando with Grogu, which is coming out next fall, thereabouts. The other ones they showed were like the Super Battle Droid, Sasha Banks' character from Mando in her Mandalorian armor. There's a Cobb Vanth, I think, coming out with Timothy Olyphant head sculpt. The Boba Fett with the throne, with the repaint armor. They showed Fennec Shand, kind of. She was in the, like, the same picture as Fett. They haven't really announced her yet, though. But she's coming. Ahsoka with Rosario Dawson version. And what are the other ones? They had a couple of really cool 1-to-1 scale busts, like the Dark Knight Joker. Holy shit. Like, $4,000 though. I was like, fuck. They had one of him and then one of Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Like, 38 inches tall, I think they are. Basically, like, mid-chest up. Real rooted hair, though. And, like, the Joaquin Phoenix figure even has, like, fucking hair on his knuckles and stuff. Like, the details were ridiculous. But, yeah, the price tag is also equally ridiculous. So, not happening there. And, let's see. What are we at here? 15? Black Series, HasLab, which is like Hasbro's crowdfunder campaign they do once a year, which is like weird, because you're like $1 billion company. Why do you have to do a crowdfunding thing? Anyway, first one they did was the Sail Barge, which was like $500, like 5 feet wide. Like, I didn't get it. The second one they did is the Razor Crest, which is incoming sometime this fall. No TBD as of yet. And the new one that they've just announced is a Black Series 6-inch scale Rancor from Jabba's Palace. Which, if it was 3 3/4 scale, I'd be interested. 6-inch scale, like, it's gonna look like a fucking kaiju compared to like 3 3/4 inch figures. Like, no, ridiculous. But that is officially announced. They fucked up actually. They did a live stream with some of the fan sites, and the head guy at Hasbro was like, "Oh, well, you know, these Black Series releases like the Rancor. I mean, like and he right away he's like, and was like, well, any of the Black Series releases coming forward." And everybody's like, oh, spoiler, spilled the beans there. And literally like a day later on the official site they announced it. So that's coming. Not sure about price tag. Probably about $300. Hard pass. If it was 3 3/4 scale, like I said, sure, maybe, but no. Other than that, let's see. I still want to kind of see the new M. Night Shyamalan flick, Old. Even though I've read a spoiler review and know exactly what happens. Kind of an interesting premise. I've heard it's fucking depressing though. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to be rushing to see that one, but at some point I wouldn't mind checking it out. Snake Eyes is probably going to be on streaming within 45 days with the new Paramount deal they've got. I don't know if it's going to be Paramount Plus or what, but like Quiet Place 2 is on Amazon Prime right now, and that's still playing in theaters some places. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The next big one to come out will be Suicide Squad on the 6th, and then we get the What If animated series starting on August 11th. So that should be fun. Shang-Chi, I can't remember, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's coming out September 3rd. I'm kind of excited for that one. Might even be possibly tempted to go to the theater for that one. I was almost going to go see Snake Eyes in the theater, and I was like, I downloaded it. But yeah, glad I didn't. Not worth it. Unless you go on like Cheap Tuesdays or whatever, if those even exist. I don't know. The last movie I went to the theater to see was Rise of Skywalker, so yeah, that long ago. And so yeah, I'm not ready to venture out into the public like that yet. Like I told the wife, 2023 possibly for Disney World, and that might even be having to get pushed back further because States right now is a shit show. I saw this one video. This guy in Louisiana, not vaccinated, got COVID, had pneumonia, was on a ventilator, damn nearly died, recovered, and they were interviewing him, and they were like, "So, you gonna get the vaccine now?" He's like, "Nope." And they're like, "Okay." And like, if you would have had the chance to have the vaccine and not have had to go through what you just went through, would you? He was like, "Nope." It's a mad, mad world. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into that whole debacle. It's not what this channel's about. Anywho, on that note, let me wrap this up. Nice little tidy 20-minute episode. Quick little rerun on everything. Like I said, I'm going to try to see Old at some point, so there will probably be a review coming up for that. Superman and Lois is just about to wrap their season, so I'll do probably a recap of that one. Flash, oh my god. Fucking lightsaber fight in Flash? Come on. What the fuck is... Jump the shark. Big time. This season could not have gotten dumber. And, like, there's even people online that dubbed in the Duel of the Fates score to the scene. Like, literally, they're lightning swords. It's like... Fuck, it reminded me of Jay and Silent Bob when they pull out the blunt sabers and fucking... Chris Rock's like, George Lucas is going to sue somebody. Like, I don't know what they're thinking with that show anymore. And they're apparently going to do an 8th season. It's like, oh god, really? Like, Superman and Lois is now probably the best CW superhero show they've got going right now. Which is kind of slim pickings because Arrow's done. Supergirl's going to be done soon. Black Lightning's done. Batwoman I haven't even watched since, like, any of season 2. Apparently it's... Some of it's not too bad, but... no. But yeah, so yeah, like Superman and Lois and Arrow's done, so like there's not much left now. Luckily, there's some good stuff on Netflix and Prime and everything else. So we'll see. Witcher season 2 I think is coming out next month. I heard a rumor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I heard. Book of Boba Fett we should be getting around December this year, and there's a good chance we're going to get Hawkeye and Miss Marvel before the year's out on Disney Plus. Obviously, Florence Pugh's character is going to show up in Hawkeye, and I've also recently read that Vincent D'Onofrio is coming back as Kingpin in the Hawkeye show. Yes, he is fucking amazing. And the same article said that there was talk of having Daredevil be in the Hawkeye show, but scheduling conflicts and everything else couldn't make it happen. But Murdoch is apparently going to show up in the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, playing... I don't think he's going to suit up. I have not heard of him actually putting on the horns, but he will be playing Peter Parker's lawyer in No Way Home, which should be cool and nice little Easter egg. And he's going to show up in She-Hulk as well, as Daredevil, I believe. So they're phasing him in slowly. The other characters that Feige's adamant to get back are Jessica Jones and Punisher, with the same actors, Bernthal and Kristen Ritter. Luke Cage and Iron Fist are getting recast, and word is they're going to do a Heroes for Hire show on Disney Plus, which would be pretty cool. Power Man and Iron Fist, Heroes for Hire, that's what they were kind of angling for, sort of, in the Netflix show, but never really got around to it. They did a couple of team-ups, but nothing really official kind of thing. So, yeah. After Shang-Chi, I don't know, sorry guys. We got the Eternals in November, and then Spider-Man in December. So, year's wrapping up nicely. Again, a lot of fucking reviews about Black Widow. I didn't mind it. It was entertaining. It should have come out in 2011. But what can you do? So, yeah, let me wrap it up here. Get this uploaded and look for a new episode sometime. I'm off for the next week on vacation still, so I'll probably pop another video on here at some point in the next couple days, and we'll take it from there. All right, ciao for now.